Hello, good day to you. My name is Kevin Randolph. I'm an executive chef in a hotel. And I wanted to share some missionary work. I'm also do a lot of missionary work with our church. And I wanted to share with you something that's been important. We can't really go out because of the coronavirus and share the Lord's message, but we know that He done a lot of healing. Actually, He done more healing than He did preaching, according to the Bible and what we know. And we have God's laws and we have man's laws, but we also have laws for our health. And we have an acronym for them, and it's called New Start. It's 8 laws of health, and that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today. And we know the coronavirus is a pandemic that's taking the world by storm. We have some things that affects the elderly. We know it affects those with autoimmune disease, more heart disease, diabetes, asthma, cancer, anything with the lungs. It affects more these, and the death rate increases if you have these ailments or you're in that category. So our government has given us masks to wear, which is a good thing. We have social distancing. And but what I want to talk today about is your immune system. This is something that we have a choice in our own life, whether we have a strong immune system or a weak immune system. You know, we have many restaurants today, and the word restaurant derives from a French verb of restore in the 16th century to mean to restore. In 1765, it was the first restaurant in Paris, and the sign, I think the guy's name was Monsieur Boulanger, and he had a sign in the front of the restaurant that says, "Come to me, all you who are labor in the stomach, and I will restore you." And then later they had street vendors that carried soup to people. And their theme was, or their advertisement was to restore health. So restaurants originally, the meaning for them was to restore health to people. Now today we have quite, I would say, the opposite of restoration when it comes to many of the restaurants. We do have a lot of good restaurants and a lot of people that are promoting good healthy menus and things. But I have to say the American diet today is lost its restoring advertisement. It's more about money, what feels good, and especially here in the South, we are known to have some of the worst diets in America. Why? Because we have fried foods, we like our pork, we like our meat and threes, and a lot of cooked food, a lot of fried foods, and then we have what's popular now here in Nashville, the Nashville hot chicken, which is basically fried chicken that's fried in oil, and then you take it and you dip it in lard with spices and hot sauce. So it's very high in fat. And we know as far as fat in the system, the liver can only take care to get rid of fat in your blood so much per day. I think it's like a teaspoon or a tablespoon per day. And most all the food that we have on the mainstream market today is loaded with oil and fat. Oil is fat, no matter what kind of oil it is, whether it's vegetable oil, canola oil, olive oil. It's all basically fat in our body. And our body can't use most of it, or can't get rid of most of it. So what happens, it gets into our system, and in the layers of our skin, etc., and it goes throughout our body, and we become overweight. And you can see in America, overweight is a primary problem that we have, and it has to do with heart disease, diabetes, and it affects us in cancer in many different ways. Not only that, you may say, well, my family ate, whatever they did, and they lived to a long, healthy life. Well, that's true, but they had gardens. The workforce was different. They didn't sit at a computer all day. They were busy working in the fields and the garden and doing things to counteract a lot of the things that they were putting into their mouth. Not only that, it was mostly from the farm. They raised their own chickens, they had their own eggs, they had their own pork and beef or whatever they ate, and their large gardens. It wasn't filled 50 years ago with so much contaminants as we have today in our food that we buy from the store. I encourage you to buy as much organic as you can, and wash everything is very important. Today, I want to share with you, a lot of people, you ask them how much vegetables or fruits or good raw food they eat, and most will say, I have a smoothie every now and then, and maybe a salad. But on that salad, what do? They pour a whole lot of dressing on top. And we're here in the South with ranch dressing on everything. Ranch dressing for your carrot sticks, celery, or whatever you eat, it's ranch dressing. And if you look at most of the dressings on the market, including ranch dressing, we find that oil, vinegar, water, sugar is the top 4 to 5 components in all the dressings. And we know that also that oil, as I had already mentioned, is not healthy for you. It clogs your arteries and causes a lot of other defects. Not to mention the preservatives. Outside of those, you have a list of preservatives that we don't even know what they really are unless we look them up and try to figure that out. Most people don't. So today I'm going to teach you how to make a simple salad dressing that's good for you. One that'll build your immune system and not weaken it. I mentioned 8 laws of health, and in those 8 laws of health, the acronym for them, we have New Start. So I hope this is a new start for you today to try to eat a little healthier so you can live longer, a healthier lifestyle. And you can either choose to do it now, or when you get older, you're in the hospital and you have to take medications and things to counteract all the things you didn't do in your younger life. So even if you're older, these are things that can help restore your health. It's called New Start, and it's talking about nutrition, exercise, fresh water, sunshine, temperance, fresh air, plenty of rest, and trusting God. Because we know, according to Genesis 1:29, God gave us our first meal plan, what we were supposed to eat. And you can read that for yourself, but it doesn't include a lot of the things that we eat today. And even the animals, in verse 30, it gave the animals also their diet before sin. So we want to restore our bodies back to what God, He's our Creator, and we want to restore our bodies back to what our Creator wanted us to primarily eat. So I'm not trying to turn everybody into a vegetarian or vegan. I'm just trying to give you some simple helps or tools that you can live healthier longer. Many people that are very rich spent their money on living a lifestyle of whatever they wanted to, and when they got older and had disease, they said, I would give it all away if I could have my health back. So we all have a choice to make. We're not animals, so we have to make a decision in our own life what type of lifestyle and what things we're going to put in our mouth. Because what we put in our mouth and what we do, the lifestyle we live, has a reaction on our health. But before I start, I'm going to make a couple of dressings. I said I was going to make a dressing, but I'm going to make a few dressings that are no oil and no sugar, no preservatives, and that are, like I said, that are healthy for you, and that you can put as much as you want on your salad. They're just going to complement the salad and make it even better. But before I do that, I had a friend ask me some time ago, it said, if you ever do anything on YouTube, this is my first time on YouTube, so they said, do something for knife skills, because I want to, she's seen me cutting something, and it was always amazing how chefs can use their knives and chop. So I'm going to give you a little example on how we were taught. It's I call it Culinary 101. First thing you learn when you're going to a culinary school or anything is how to use your knife properly. So I'm going to take a piece of celery and just give you an example on how chefs use their knife. I'm going to break a piece off here. And it's warm in here, so excuse me for wiping the sweat. It's warm in this in this building right now. First off, a good knife. You need a good hard edge knife, and it needs to be sharp. A sharp knife will keep you from getting cut. These knives here, I brought a few. These are knives that are not typically used for chopping vegetables or cutting so much. This is a bread knife. This is a slicing knife and a paring knife. But these are not ones that I want to cut the celery with. The reason why chefs can cut so quickly in things is because they learned how to use with their hand. If you take your fingers and imagine you have a strawberry, the green part of the straw, the stem of the strawberry, and you're going to dip it into carob, is a good alternative for chocolate. Anyhow, picture your fingers like this, and what you want to do is have your thumb behind your fingers at all times and straight up and down. That way it gives the knife something to guide upon. Most people want to slice and they have their fingers out here, and I'm just waiting for them to cut their finger off. So most chefs learn immediately how to avoid cutting themselves. So you just keep your thumb behind your fingers. You have generally 1 or 2 fingers as your base, and you keep them at a 90-degree angle. So I can cut the celery and talk to you and not worry about cutting myself because my fingers are guiding where I'm going, and I'm just keeping my thumb behind, and I have no worry about cutting myself because I know where the knife is all the time. It's riding up and down on my fingers. So that's something important, and you can practice. It doesn't come naturally, and it takes some time as far as chopping or whatever. You can chop, and as long as the knife is sliding up against your forefinger, your middle finger, and it's at a 90-degree angle, you don't have to worry about it being out here and coming down on your finger. So that's Knife Skills 101 in the culinary world. Let me put this celery out of the way here. And now we're going to learn how to make a dressing, a few dressings. It's very simple, they're healthy, and I got my little magic bullet here that really helps because when you're at home, it keeps from getting a full blender messed up. We're going to make an avocado dressing first. And I tell you, I'm going to explain a base to you that almost all dressings have, which I got onions today. I normally use shallots, but I'm going to put about a tablespoon of onions in here. I'm going to put about a half a teaspoon of garlic, and I'm going to put some lemon juice. And when I do this lemon, let me use this spoon right here. I don't have a lemon zester or a squeezer, so I'm just going to use this to put a little juice of this lemon in here, about a half a lemon of juice. And this is a base for almost any dressing you want to use. It's a vegetable type base or herb type dressing. And I'll explain a little further as we go. So I have onions, I have, instead of vinegar, I put fresh lemon juice, and I have garlic here, which is really good for immune system. I'll put those 3. And after that, I'm going to take this avocado. Let me split this avocado open. And take the seed out. Simple way to take the seed is you just hit it with your knife and pop it right out. And drop a half avocado in there. I think a half avocado is going to be good for what we're making. I'm going to add some sea salt. This is some Himalayan pink salt. A few shakes of that. And I'm going to put a dash of cayenne because it is an avocado and people like a little spice on their avocado. It's kind of a Spanish flair there. And I'm going to put some cilantro. And it's that easy. Oh, no, it's not that easy. I need to put some water in there because we're going to make it a little bit creamy. So I'm going to put a little bit of water, about a quarter cup of water in there also. And we're going to blend this up. I'm going to take this out. Let me get a spoon. I always like to taste it and see if my flavors are good there. Well, that's awesome. I got some lettuces here. I bought some what we call power greens. It's baby spinach and kale, and you can get it at stores. Just a minute. This has got Missoula in it, and chard, kale, and spinach, and it's a good greens that have a lot of good things in it. It's not just an iceberg lettuce. Okay, so I have my salad here. I just wrapped it in a little cucumber roll, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this salad out because I like some fresh beets. All this is raw. It's important to keep everything raw because we know when we cook things, we cook most of the nutrition out of it. Whatever vegetable or fruit it is, when you cook it, you cook most of and I got some fresh garden tomatoes out of the garden this morning. And I'm going to put 3 or 4 slices of those on here. And that's all I'm going to put on there. I'm going to put that, and I'm going to put this dressing on here. A nice layer of avocado dressing. And maybe a few nuts too, a few seeds to put on there. So if you can see that, it's a very, very healthy, raw. You can have all of it you want. It's really good for you. And everything has got all the minerals and vitamins and things that'll help restore health to your body. So that's just one dressing. No oil, nothing. Nice and creamy. I'm going to rinse my container out here and show you one more. We can pause for a minute. Be right back. Okay, I got my container here cleaned out. We're going to do the same process we did with the avocado dressing. I'm going to put some onions, or again, shallots are a little bit better. It's a type of onion that has a little bit more flavor to it, and distinct flavor. A half teaspoon of garlic. And I'm going to put a little sea salt in here. No, I'm not yet. I'm going to put some celery. This is oregano dressing. We're going to put about 1 stalk of celery is what I have here. And a little lemon again. Find my spoon. I had a spoon. Okay, I have a tongue. Squeeze my lemon in here. If you don't have lemon, you don't have fresh garlic, you can use powdered garlic and onion powder. I prefer the fresh is better. And lemon juice the same way. Fresh lemon is better than the processed, because when they process it, they heat it. And once something is heated, it loses some value. So I'm going to prefer powdered oregano, but I had the dry, so I'm going to use that today. About a half a teaspoon of dry oregano. And now I'm going to put some sea salt here. And this, I'm going to put a little silken tofu. And silken tofu is what you use for smoothies or desserts or things. It's a little bit creamier, and it won't be grainy after you blend it. And a little bit of water. I keep forgetting my water here. Again, no oil. It's what makes it good for you. No oil, no sugar. Well, come on, there we go. This works great with like a Caesar salad, or any salad. It really works well, and it's a good substitute for a ranch also. And again, I'll taste it because I like to see what this tastes like before. Yeah, the dry oregano is better. The powdered oregano, ground oregano is better. It works better than the leaves. It gets more of its flavor. But that's another one that's very good, is oregano, the celery and everything to go on a salad. And the third one I'm going to do is the same process, and I'm just going to rinse this out here real quickly with some water. and speed things up here. Let me just rinse this out because it's got the same things, and that oregano or celery is not going to hurt the flavor of the last one I'm doing. Let me put this out of the way. Pour that into here and get it out of my way. And the last one I'm doing is a roasted yellow pepper. It's my favorite. A little bit sweet. If you like honey mustard, you like a sweeter dressing, because I put honey in it. This has got, I have wildflower honey, but it's best if you can get a local honey from the area you're in, because it helps with allergies and things like that. It's much more healthy for you, and it's fresh. This again has been processed. So I'm going to start off again, my same base, some onions. I'm going to put a little garlic. You can make this base up ahead and just have it in your refrigerator all the time if you want to. And I'm going to put these sesame seeds in here. I like to use raw cashews. They happen to be out when I went, and I just soon get those than the other cashew, the cooked cashews, because they have the raw cashews gives it a milkier flavor, or a milkier, richer flavor. A little salt. That was a roasted yellow pepper I roasted. Just a whole roasted yellow pepper. You can throw it in the oven on about 400 degrees and give it about 15-20 minutes. And a little dash of cayenne and salt. And again, some lemon juice. And then you peel the peeling will come right off once you cool it down. You can run it under cold water and peel the outer skin off your roasted yellow pepper. Now this one is cooked. I did roast the yellow pepper. You can do it raw completely if you like to. It's no problem. A little squeeze of lemon there. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of honey. Half a teaspoon maybe. And if you like it creamy, you can use almond milk if you care to. I like just the plain unsweetened. Instead of the vanilla, because vanilla tends to flavor everything with it. Roasted yellow pepper dressing, and it is delicious. And that's my favorite, a touch of honey. You can use the same base. Like I said, you can have onions and garlic and onions and garlic and a little water and a little lemon juice, and you can keep that in your refrigerator. So whenever you want a dressing, all you have to throw in there is whatever you want. You can throw some tomatoes to it and have a tomato dressing. You can we got beets here, but you can put beets in it and have a beet dressing. You can the cucumber and a little dill. All of that goes very well on a salad. What you're doing is just enhancing it. A dressing is all it is to enhance your salad, to give you a little bit more flavors there. So we want to take away the bad things in it, put the good things in it, so it's a completely healthy salad. It's helping build our immune system. Because with the virus going on, we need to have a strong immune system. Medications don't cure as much as a strong immune system will. Your body will heal itself. We have all the plants, all the herbs, all the roots, all the seeds, all the things that God gave us on this earth to heal our bodies if we would just learn how to use them properly. And so thank you for joining me today. We're going to continue with the 8 Laws of Health. The next one is going to be on exercise. Again, the acronym is New Start. So I hope this gives you a start to thinking about building a strong immune system. So when the common cold comes around, or the virus, or whatever, your immune system can kick it without having to go to the doctor and the medications, and it gives your body the fighting power it needs to overcome these diseases that we see in the world today. Thank you for joining us, and God bless.